Good afternoon. Venerable ladies and gentlemen, this is a time for drowsiness. In this drowsiness time, I have to deliver the very dry subject. Meditation is a very dry subject. But I would like to try my best to deliver my manual, practice, technique in this Satipatthana meditation. Sati, wonderful, beautiful words in Abhidhamma. Most scholars translated into English as mindfulness. But in Suttanta Pitaka, it was used by the Buddha himself, apamada. Apamada. Don't forget. No forgetfulness. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, as a seeker after the truth, as a seeker after the liberation, as a seeker after the purification of life, we would not escape from this technique, the foundations of mindfulness. In the Satipatthana discourse, Buddha expounded, Ekayano Ayam Bhikkhave Meggo Sattana Visuddhiya. For the purifications of the being, for the purifications of the mind, for all being, this is the only way, which is foundations of mindfulness. Dukkha Domanasana Attingamaya. For the overcoming of physical pain, mental pain, or mental physical suffering to overcome. There's the only way, which is the full foundations of mindfulness. Sokha Pridyevanan Samatikmaya. To overcome sorrow and limitation. To see mental pain and sorrow and limitation. There's nothing but only one way. It is the full foundations of mindfulness. To achieve knowledges, to attain the many stages of wisdom also. That's the only way, which is the full foundations of mindfulness. To realize, for the realizations of the Nibbana, there's nothing but only one way. This is the full foundations of mindfulness. So, whenever, brothers and sisters, this morning my friend Brahma Pandita, his former name Dharma Gosajan, explained about the sati, quoted from the Athasalini commentary. Sati In Abhidhamma words, Abhidhamma usage, mindfulness. It has a full meaning according to the commentary, Atasalini. Apila pada lekana sati. The characteristic of this mindfulness, it has non-floating. Our life floating in the oceans of a sense of pleasure. Our life will look like you're floating in the ocean, Pacific Ocean, and then it is a peace ocean. But the storm, the wind, that is coming, the peace are floating. We are swimming in this floating surface of the ocean, which is sense of pleasure. So to overcome such a kind of floating ocean, only one way, which is foundations of mindfulness. So I would like to interpret in my opinion, non-floating means stability of the mind. Mindfulness is very powerful to stabilize mental floating on a single object. This is the ekayana, the only way. In the Satipatthana, Satipatthana discourses, Buddha expounded in 4 ways how to establish the mindfulness. This morning, Brahma Pandita quoted in 2 ways, in 2 techniques. This I've done, I would like to tell you only one. Sabbakaya Padisanvedi Asa Sesamiti Sekati Basa Sesamiti Sekati. Sabbakaya Padisanvedi, comprehending whole body of the breath, whole body of the breath. Whole body means only the breath body, from beginning through the middle to the end. Sometimes some meditator, he or she or contemplate only the very beginning of the breath. He or she makes middle of the breath, end of the breath. Some meditator can catch again, follow only the middle. He makes beginning and end. But the Buddha expounded, Sabbakaya Padisanvedi. Sabbakaya, whole body of the breath. Not meaning from feet to head. Only the breath body. We must follow. This is the end of the beginning of the breath. This is the middle of the breath. This is the end of the breath. Whole body of the breath must be clear, must come to the evidence in our mindfulness. Sabbakaya Padisanvedi. To practice this technique, commentary and Visuddhimagga, the path of purification, made the commentary clearly in different ways, in 5 ways. But in this drowsiness afternoon, I'm going to tell you only one thing. Poto kasi chaitan tapitwa. Poto kasi chaitan tapitwa. This is Pali word. Poto kasi means in this very place, touching with the breath in nostril. Poto kasi. Breath in nostrils are always a touching. In this a touching place, Puktokasa. We must firmly fix the mind on this attaching nature. If we can fix firmly our mind on this attaching nature, we can catch whole body of the breath. This is the beginning of the breath. This is the end of the breath. This is the middle of the breath. Whole body of the breath from beginning through the middle to the end. According to the Visuddhi Mega. So, brothers and sisters, Puktokasa, do not miss this technique to catch our mind monkey on this very touching place. We shall try to catch up with the mindfulness on this touching place. If we can fix our mind on this touching nature, on this very touching place with the nostril and the breath, we can use sampajana here. Sampajana, satima sampajana. Sampajana means sun and the pa and jhana. Three words that come and combine according to the Pali grammatically. Sun means systematically. Pa means in detail. Jhana means understand. Sati, controlling the mind, guardian of the mind, on the touching place, firmly fixed. We use a samjhana. Samjhana means a panya. Trying to understand in detail within ourselves in touching, the touching place. Sometimes breathing out, sometimes breathing in. Normally, we know only the breathing in or breathing out. Not only the breathing, but also sometimes in this breathing, hot and cold also comes and goes up. Sometimes cool nature also comes and goes up. Sometimes grossness nature and softness nature also comes and goes up. Sometimes liquidity and fluidity also comes and goes up. At least a full nature. These are called primary elements. Grossness and softness nature, it is called Dhatu, the element of the earth. Sometimes hot, sometimes cold within the breathing. It is called the element of the heat, element of the fire. Sometimes pushing, comes in, goes in, pushing. This is the nature, air of element. Sometimes liquidity, fluidity, flowing, together with the breath. This is a water element. These are called primary elements. If we can fix our mind on this breath, on this touching place, breath and nostril, we can analyze in these full nature. These are called primary elements. They are great. They are enormous. They are huge power. Because all of our physical and mental body, all of the globe, the sun, the nature, the star, the moon, etc. Everything depends on these four great primary elements. When they are balanced, when these great primary elements are balanced on this attachment place, balance, we will have comfortable. This is a junction leading to within Anupasana. When they get out of balance, it will come in. Disease, decay, dissolution, and death. This is the junction. We can go to the Virenanupassana. So, brothers and sisters, in the Majjhima Nikaya, Buddha expounded one sutra, Anapanasati Sutra. In this discourse, as Buddha expounded, Anapanasati bhikkhve bhavita bahuligata chattaro satipatthane paripurenti. But in the very beginning, we are practicing only the Anapanasati. Later on, all of the four foundations of mindfulness are comes in together, not separately. While we are contemplating on the breath, we can contemplate four great primary elements also same time. When they get balance, we will have the comfortable sukha vedana. When they get out of balance, at that time, we will feel the dukkha or suffering. So, Anapanasati bhikkhve bhavita bhuligata chattaro satipatthane paripureni. In the very beginning, we are practicing only the Anapanasati, but later on, all of four satipatthanas comes in together. So this is called the sampajana. Some systematically, part in detail, jhana, trying to understand sampajana. So, in the first of all, we should try to establish mental stability without floating in the sense of ocean. Later on, when we can establish our mind to be stabilized, we can contemplate in every nature of the mental, physical nature. So sati and sampajana go together. In the very beginning, we started with the sati. Later on, sampajana come together, going together. I want to tell you one example. In this bottle, everyone easily to know water. It is in a realistic nature. For foundations of our mindfulness, it is very powerful to analyze and to understand realistic nature within ourselves and true nature within ourselves. And the first of all, we must understand realistic nature. Later on, we shall try to understand true nature. Without understanding the true nature, we cannot solve any problems of the life. Understanding the true nature is very powerful to solve the problems of the life. It is not water. It is not realistic nature. All of many brothers and sisters clearly understand. As a realistic nature, it is not the water. According to the realistic nature, when we analyze this water into two divisions, hydrogen and oxygen, when we can analyze this water into two divisions, water disappears. Water disappears. Realistic nature only hydrogen and oxygen. In the same way, first of all, we must try to evident, trying to clear understand our breathing for the establishment of the mental stability without floating in the ocean of the senses. Later on, we must try to understand in detail what I am, where I am, what I am meditating. Actually, there's no meditator, no meditation master. We can contemplate then on the very beginning on the breath. Later on, we continue to contemplate on the four great primary elements. But we must analyze at the side of a meditator, who is a meditator? Correctly answer. There is not a meditation practitioner. Only sati, guardian of the mind, samadhi, stability of the mind, effort, mental energetic will of the mind, panya, understanding of the mind, clearly understanding, clearly comprehension of the mind, clearly comprehension of the mind and body, viriya, effort, sati, mindfulness, samadhi, concentration, panya, wisdom, and consciousness, working together according to their task. Therefore, in the Visuddhimagga, commentator Buddhaghosa said, Sankhara Sankharesu Vipassanti. Only conditioned thing and compounded thing is meditating on the conditioned and compounded thing. There's no I, no self. This is leading to the purification of view. So, my dear brothers and sisters, in the very beginning, we trying to establish mental stability with the mindfulness, contemplating on breath. Later on, we shall try to analyze this breath. What are the comings and going out? What are the comes and goes out? So we must fix our mind on this tip of nostril. Nasike gi chittant pitwa. Buddha expounded in discourses. And Visuddhimagga, Poktoka se chittant pitwa. Therefore, we must fix our mind on the tip of a nostril, analyze, breathing in, breathing out. How many meditative qualities are breathing in? How many meditative qualities are breathing out? Four primary elements: hot and cold, grossness and softness, liquidity and fluidity, touching nature. These are called primary elements. When we can analyze these great primary elements, we can step up our techniques to contemplate on this very place, touching with the breath and nostril. At that time, we will understand automatically who is a practice in the meditation, vijnana, sati, samadhi, panya, and viriya. Four sankhara are practice and meditation on the four great primary elements. In the meditator's side also, non-self, no soul, no person. In the meditation subject side also, all are sankhara. Sankharawa, sankhare, vipassanti. All conditioned things and compounded things, contemplating on conditioned things and compounded things. Therefore, Buddha, every day, wherever he stay on this earth, according to the MR research, within 45 years, Buddha lived 14 places in India. Rajgiri, Saravasti, Nigrora, Rama, Kabila, etc. 14 places. In these 14 places, wherever Buddha lived, in the very early morning, when we wake up, all of us Sangha come and gather together at the foot of the Buddha, paying respect in the very early morning as a pilgrimage. At that time, Buddha expounded Apamadena Sambadita. In the very evening lay, after the Dhamma talk, after the meditation practice, all of the Bhikkhu Sangha gather together and come, pay respect, their homage to the Buddha at the foot of the Buddha. Very evening lay. At that time, Buddha said, Apamadena Sambadita. This Apamadena Sambadita is the Buddha's manual teaching. Every day, 2 times, early morning and late evening. On the eve of the Buddha's death, southwest corner of Kushinagara, between the Sala tree and the very early evening, Buddha received royal family. Laid down, and Buddha received the deity. At the midnight, Buddha received the Bhikkhu Sangha, answering their question. Last watch of the night, Buddha said, Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Apamadena Samparita. Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Apamadena Samparita. Now you hear, Apamada, mindfulness, Buddha's manual teaching. Even eve of the death, this is the last one of the Buddha. Oh, brethren, all of our compounded and conditioned things has their nature constantly flux. So, try hard with the mindfulness to complete your task. What is our task? To complete the sila, to complete samadhi, to complete the panya. These are 3 things are our tasks we have to do in this Buddha's dispensation. So Buddha said in the many sutras, Apamado Amatamatan also. Pamado Misunobaran also. Mindfulness is the way to deathless. If we can establish complete mindfulness within our heart, we're going to deathless, which is Nibbana. Heedlessness is a way to death. Lacking of a mindfulness, way to death. Death of a life is not really important, but our dignity of Shila, dignity of a Samadhi, dignity of a Panya. These are 3 qualities of our life. So not to die of this dignity, we must be mindful in every activities of our life. Therefore, Buddha said, Apamado Amadamadan. Mindfulness is the way to deathless. Heedlessness is the way to death. Apamadena Sambadita, Vayadama Sankara. All of a compounded and conditioned thing has their nature constantly flux, momentary disease, decay, and death. Therefore, trying to understand this nature of conditioned and compounded thing with the mindfulness and sambhajana, sati and sambhajana. This is our task to do in this very life. So in my conclusion, I would like to tell you, in my manual practice way. Sit in the cross-legged position, in the quiet place, erect our body, close our eye, normally and naturally. Breathe also normally and naturally. Nasika gi chaitan tapitwa. This is a Pali text. Phoktoka si chaitan tapitwa. This is the commentary. Therefore, breathe normally and naturally. We must have fixed our mind with the guardian of the mind, which is a sati. On this fixed nature, we must analyze this breath into 4 divisions. Hotness nature or coolness nature. Grossness nature or softness nature. Liquidity and fluidity. Heat or cold, etc. These are called primary elements. They have great. They are called great because our physical mental body constitute on this great primary element. All of us, star, moon, global, ocean, tree, etc. constitute on this great primary element. When they are balanced, we'll feel happy. When they get out of balance, we'll feel unhappy. In this junction, we can continue to the Viranupassana. When we can avoid that these 2 extremes, happy and unhappy, our mind becomes stability and peace. At that time, we can contemplate our mental nature, happiness nature or peaceful nature or understanding, etc. This is Chittanupassana. All of us Satipatthanasa comes in together, not a different nature. So, all of our my dear brothers and sisters, what is the last word? It's very wonderful. Vayadhamma Sankhara. All compounded then and conditional then has their nature constantly flux. We shall follow to clearly understand. This is this nature of mental, physical formation, compounded and conditional thing, with the mindfulness. Apamadina sapadita. Thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.